Hey everyone, welcome back to AI and Automation Weekly. I am your host Abhijit, and this week, absolutely massive. We have got Google's biggest AI move in years, OpenAI fixing a major problem, and one of the internet's worst outages in recent memory. Plus, over $3 billion flowing into AI startups. Stick around because we are breaking it all down. Let's go. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Google just dropped Gemini 3 and it's legitimately impressive. We are talking November 17th release, that's Google's most significant AI model update in 2025. The headline? Google calls it the most intelligent AI model on the planet. And honestly, the benchmarks back it up. Gemini 3 absolutely dominates reasoning, multimodal understanding, that's text, images, video, code all at once, and what they are calling agentic workflows, which basically means AI that can actually do things for you. But here is what matters most. Google embedded Gemini 3 directly into Google search. Billions of people are now using this model without even knowing it. That's a massive shift in how people find information. On the enterprise side, developers got access through Gemini app, Google AI Studio, and Vertex AI. The coding capabilities are particularly strong. They are talking about vibe coding that delivers richer visualizations with less manual work. And because this is Google, they went global immediately. Google 3 Pro rolled out to users in India, UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, and Japan with features like AI-powered scam detection for phone calls and call notes that auto-transcribe conversations right on your device. The bottom line? Gemini 3 is Google's shot across the bow. They are saying loud and clear that they are not conceding the AI space to OpenAI. This changes the competitive landscape. Speaking of OpenAI, they listened to feedback and they dropped ChatGPT 5.1 on November 13th. Here is the thing, GPT-5, which launched in August, had a serious image problem. Users said it felt cold, robotic, like talking to a machine that technically understood you but didn't care. OpenAI needed to fix that fast. Enter GPT 5.1 and they went all in on personalization. Two new model variants, GPT 5.1 Instant for your everyday chats, faster, more conversational, better emotional intelligence, and ChatGPT 5.1 Thinking for the hard stuff, math, coding, complex reasoning. This one takes time but gives you way better answers. But the real game changer? 8 personality presets. I'm talking default, professional, friendly, candid, quirky, efficient, nerdy, and cynical. Plus experimental sliders for verbosity, warmth, and even emoji usage. You can literally dial in exactly how you want ChatGPT to sound. The performance gains are substantial too. On the AIME math test and competitive programming challenges, GPT 5.1 crushed it. And here is a kicker. Hallucinations down by 66%. 3 times fewer hallucinations than before. Paid subscribers got it first, but it rolled out to free users too. And the API access for developers came later in the week. Sam Altman called it a nice upgrade, but honestly, it's a signal that OpenAI knows raw intelligence isn't enough anymore. Your AI needs to feel good to use. Now, this one's not good news, but it's important. Cloudflare had its worst outage since 2019 and it took a huge chunk of the internet with it. November 18th, 11:20 am UTC. The clock starts ticking. X goes down, ChatGPT goes down, thousands of websites disappear, and it stays down for over 3 hours. What happened? A database configuration change. Sounds simple, right? But here is the domino effect. One permission change made the system output duplicate entries. These duplicates filled up a buffer that the bot management system was using. The buffer overflowed. The core proxy system that handles all customer traffic broke. Cloudflare's CEO Matthew Prince called it unacceptable, and he is right. When you are handling that much of the internet's infrastructure, these aren't just technical failures. They are catastrophic. The company came out with a detailed postmortem. They are hardening configuration file ingestion, adding more kill switches, and reviewing failure modes across the board. But here is what this really tells us. Centralized infrastructure is a serious risk. One company, one database change, and suddenly millions of people can't do their jobs. This is a wake-up call for everyone building critical infrastructure. Microsoft is making a bold bet, and they laid it all out at Ignite 2025. They are projecting 1.3 billion AI agents will be automating office work by 2028. That's not thousands, that's billions. Meet Microsoft Agent 365. It's the control center for all those agents. Because here is the problem. As AI agents multiply across your organization, how do you track them, govern them, make sure they are not breaking stuff? Agent 365 solves this. It's centralized visibility and control for autonomous AI across your entire tech stack. But that's just the foundation. Microsoft also announced Work IQ, Foundry IQ, and Fabric IQ. These layer intelligence across Microsoft 365 Copilot, connecting agents to your actual data, your actual workflows. And they launched the Agent Factory program. Basically, they are removing the barriers to building agents. Organizations get access to both Foundry and Copilot Studio through a single metered plan. No upfront licensing. Deploy agents wherever you want. Microsoft's playing for keeps here. They are not just adding AI to products anymore. They are building AI into the architecture from the ground up. And here is something most people missed. Microsoft announced MAI-1 Preview, a large foundation model trained on 15,000 H100 GPUs. That's Microsoft building their own AI infrastructure instead of relying entirely on OpenAI. Strategic move? Absolutely. Elon Musk's XAI dropped Grok 4.1 and they did something unusual. A 2-week stealth release where users got random responses from Grok 4 or 4.1 without knowing which one they were using. Result? Users preferred Grok 4.1 64% of the time. So XAI went public with it on November 17th. And the benchmarks? Top of the leaderboard. Grok 4.1 thinking hit 1483 ELO on LM Arena's Text Arena benchmark. That's the highest on the planet. Even the standard mode is crushing it. What makes this impressive? 3 things. First, emotional intelligence. Grok 4.1 scores 1585 on the EQ bench, beating Claude Opus and GPT-5. Second, creative writing. It's scoring higher than Claude 4.5. Third, hallucinations are down 3 times compared to Grok 4. This is available to everyone on Grok.com, on X, and in the mobile apps. No login required on the web. XAI is making a real play here. They are not just matching competitors. They are beating them on specific metrics. That's how you build momentum. Anthropic just announced Claude 4 and immediately partnered with both Microsoft and NVIDIA. That's huge. The model family includes Claude Opus 4, they are calling it the world's best coding model, and Claude Sonnet 4 with major upgrades in reasoning and instruction following. Here is what matters. These models are now available in Microsoft Foundry, Microsoft's AI model marketplace. That means Azure customers can deploy Claude with native Azure billing and governance. And they are also integrated into Microsoft 365 Copilot, bringing Anthropic's reasoning to hundreds of millions of enterprise users. The technical breakthrough? Extended thinking with tool use. Claude can now use tools like web search while it's thinking through a problem. It can run multiple tools in parallel instead of one at a time. That's how you build real intelligent agents. Memory capabilities got an upgrade too. Claude can now extract key facts from local files and maintain context across conversations way better than before. And here is the safety angle. Claude 4 is 65% less likely to use shortcuts or cheat when completing agentic tasks. That matters when you are automating critical business processes. Pricing stayed the same. Opus 4 at $15 to $75 per million tokens. Sonnet 4 at $3 to $15. So you get better performance at the same price. $3.5 billion flowed into AI startups in just the first 2 weeks of November. That's insane. And that's 52% of all venture capital right now going into AI. We are talking $192.7 billion year to date in 2025. Let's hit the highlights. Metropolis landed $500 million at a $5 billion valuation. They are using computer vision for parking and real-world payments. Armis raised $435 million and $6.1 billion for securing AI-connected devices. Enterprise agents are hot. Decagon, Wonderful and Giga all hit 9-figure rounds for autonomous customer service and sales agents. Dialpad's agentic AI is solving 70% of customer requests automatically. That's not a beta feature, that's production and it's working. Healthcare AI crushed it with $585 million across multiple deals. Infrastructure investments exceeded $1 billion. The message is clear. Investors are buying the picks and shovels of AI infrastructure, not just the applications. And in India, OpenAI offered free ChatGPT Go for the year starting November 4th. India's paid subscriber count doubled in the first month. India is now ChatGPT's second largest market globally. That's massive for a country that's only getting started with AI. China absolutely dominated robotics announcements this week. Unitree launched the G1D for continuous industrial operation with movements approaching human-level fluidity. UB Tech started shipping hundreds of Walker S2 humanoid units, first real mass deployment in the industry. The breakthrough? AGI Bots reinforcement learning system that lets robots learn new tasks in 10 minutes instead of weeks. That changes factory economics completely. Tesla shared updates at their shareholder meeting. Cybercab goes into production April 2026, fully autonomous, no steering wheel, no pedals, 8 camera vision. They are targeting 5 million annual capacity. The Optimus V 2.5 humanoid is already walking, waving and dancing. V3 coming in 2026 for mass production. And here is where it gets wild. Tesla's developing the AI-8 processor for orbiting data centers. They are literally extending the AI chip roadmap into space. This is beyond consumer robotics. This is infrastructure thinking. FSD version 14 showed smooth performance in analyst test rides. 10 times parameter increase, new reasoning capabilities using full 360-degree vision coming soon. This is happening. Autonomous vehicles, humanoid robots, orbital AI, this isn't science fiction anymore. GitHub Copilot is getting two massive upgrades. First, open sourcing in VS Code. Microsoft is literally opening up GitHub Copilot to the community. That's a signal about where they think the future is going. Second, agent mode entered preview. Developers can assign multiple tasks to autonomous coding agents, refactoring, test improvements, defect fixes, new features. The agents work asynchronously and collaborate with each other. That's genuinely new. App modernization is game changing. Java and .NET upgrades, historically painful, time consuming. Now GitHub Copilot handles it across thousands of files autonomously. Assessment, remediation, configurations, dependencies, full visibility at every step. GitHub Copilot CLI got major updates on November 18th. New model support for GPT 5.1, GPT 5.1 Codex and Gemini 3 Pro. Enhanced code search with ripgrep. Better image support, just drag and drop. A new /share command for collaboration. Over at Hugging Face, CEO Clem DeLange dropped a warning. We are in an LLM bubble, not an AI bubble. He thinks it will pop in 2026. The market's concentrated on one massive model solving everything. Reality, it will be specialized models customized for specific use cases. Hugging Face is playing the long game. Half of their $400 million funding is still in the bank. They are profitable when competitors are burning billions. That's strategic positioning. AMD is seriously challenging NVIDIA's AI dominance. Their Instinct MI350 series GPUs are ramping faster than any product in company history. Already deployed at scale by Oracle Cloud infrastructure. The MI450 series is coming with industry-leading memory capacity. MI500 series launching 2027. AMD is playing the long game here. Their client processor strategy expanded 2.5 times since 2024. Ryzen powers over 250 platforms. More than half the Fortune 100 adopted AMD Ryzen for commercial deployments. Next-gen Gorgon and Medusa processors promise 10 times AI performance gains since 2024. AMD is also going to space with space-grade processors for missions up to 15 years. While NVIDIA owns the current market, AMD is building the future. NVIDIA predictably maintained dominance with continued H200 and B300 deployment. But here is the thing, the competition is real now. The market's diversifying. EU AI Act implementation is getting complicated. Full applicability August 2, 2026. Non-compliance fines reach 35 million euros or 7% of annual turnover. But drafts suggest 1 year grace periods to help companies comply. Implementation is messier than anyone expected. India took a different route. Pragmatic governance guidelines emphasizing innovation through voluntary commitments, regulatory sandboxes, no heavy-handed regulation. That's a completely different philosophy than the EU. So here is what we are seeing. Google's back in the game with Gemini 3. OpenAI fixed ChatGPT 5's problems with 5.1. Microsoft's building the entire AI agent infrastructure. XAI's Grok is beating the benchmarks. Anthropic's Claude 4 is powering enterprise workflows. And $3.5 billion in startup funding is flowing into AI agents and robotics. Meanwhile, the Cloudflare outage reminded us that centralized infrastructure is fragile. AMD is actually threatening NVIDIA. And AI regulation is heading in wildly different directions globally. This is the week the AI arms race moved into overdrive. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that subscribe button. We are covering everything happening in AI and automation, from breakthroughs through breakdowns. New videos every week. Drop a comment. What story surprised you most this week? Gemini 3, the Grok benchmarks, or the fact that one database change took down Cloudflare? Thanks for watching. I am your AI and automation correspondent. We'll see you next week. Stay curious. Thank you. Bye-bye.